everybody. So today I'm filming a video about why I feel so strongly about the fast fashion industry and moving to sustainable fashion, and why I think it's an important transition for everyone to follow. I actually wrote a speech about this last night, and it was really hard for me to talk about this without getting emotional, because it's not just about reducing our waste, but it's actually causing the emissions of greenhouse gases, using up our resources such as water, land, the exploitation of farmers and sweatshop workers. It's actually a very multi-dimensional issue that is going on and very prevalent in our society at the moment. If you're watching this, you're probably among the wealthiest 8% of the planet, so we're the ones who have to make this change because other people are depending on this for their livelihoods. Fast fashion, if you didn't already know, I've talked about it a lot, is the second contributor to climate change. So the first being energy, which is the burning of fossil fuels. Now, the burning of fossil fuels, we can't as an individual change. All we'd have to do is, you know, stop using the car less and use public transport, but that's really the only major change that we can make. So we're using up energy and burning fossil fuels all day, every day, unless we change to renewable energy sources, which would be solar panels, wind, electricity, stuff like that. But we actually can't change that as a younger generation because most of us live at home or we don't have the money for that. So what we can do is actually change our shopping habits. It's the biggest change that we can make. It's a second contributor to climate change. The only thing that's affecting it is us, the consumer. So we need to change our shopping habits. And it's not just enough to go slightly sustainable. If you're using the term sustainable, you have to do it fully. You have to boycott these brands to make them stop manufacturing these clothes. Everything is wrapped in plastic. Everything is manufactured unethically and is harming the planet. To make the biggest difference, we need to boycott them completely. And the reason I feel so passionately about it, and especially being a media influencer, having a say on social media, is that the creation of fast fashion came from social media influencing. The industry became so fast and so disposable because of social media influencers. It created a see it, want it now mentality. So whenever you saw something on your feed, you'd want it straight away, which sped up the process of manufacturing clothes, which to do that, they had to cut costs and cut corners. So whether that be environmental or ethical, they exploited farmers, they were paid less, the farmers are using more chemicals so the cotton grows quicker, which is putting chemicals into the atmosphere again, and all the dyes from the clothes are getting leached into the water systems. All the clothes are made in sweatshops really badly, bad quality clothing, which is following on to my next point, which is disposable fashion, which was also brought onto us by social media influencers. So basically, if they would never put up a picture with the same outfit twice. It was kind of creating this social construct that we needed to have a new outfit for every day of our lives, which is just not attainable. From this, people, us normal consumers like us, would need a new, suddenly just needed a new outfit for every social event we were going to, which is just unrealistic and also harming the planet. Our landfills are now getting filled up, and all of this textile waste is going into the oceans. So with all this climate change and damage that's going on into the environment, by 2030 there will be a 1.5 degree rise in temperatures. So to combat this, we need to change our shopping habits now before it's too late. If you're wondering what this 1.5 degree rise in temperature will mean, if you think about crops and what they need to be at a stable environment all the time to cultivate properly and grow to the best of their abilities. So they need sun, water. Now with the 1.5 degree rise in temperatures, that is going to lead to drought, and drought means a lack of water. The fashion industry is also using up the water resources, so it's rapidly decreasing our water availability, right? With the drought attached to that, the crops will fail. And crop failure would lead to a lack of resources, which is food. A lack of food in an area which societies depend on, they will have to migrate. With the migration of people, a vast amount of people due to crop failure will lead to a refugee crisis for our countries. With our policies, we have to take care of these refugees as well. And again, that's another strain on our resources as well. So it's on our doorstep too. It is our problem now as well. These people have been suffering for years, and now that it's coming into our countries, we need to make the change for them. And then with the lack of resources in the countries surrounding us and our country as well, will lead to war, a fight over resources, which is how all wars are created. So with you shopping in pennies, you are automatically stripping youth of a comfortable life, which they deserve. So by 2030, my little sister Cora will be 14, and when I was 14, I was wondering when my boobs were going to grow in. I was fighting over boys with my friends. But when Cora's 14, she'll have to go to school with a gas mask on because the methane released from the melting of ice caps will choke her. It is poisonous and is a carcinogenic. She will also be rationing her food. Also, this 1.5 degree rise in temperatures will melt the ice caps, which means a rise in sea level. I live by the sea. My house might not even be be here anymore by 2030 if there's not a change made. So the house that Cora lives in now won't even exist by 2030. My little sister, who's going to be 14 in 2030, won't have the life that I have now. And for that reason is why I'm making a change in my shopping habits and why everyone else should. When Cora is 14, the countries surrounding her will be preparing for war over dwindling resources. I have never experienced a war and I don't ever want to. Why would I want to put my little sister through that just to feed my fast fashion addiction? I don't need to do that. I want to create a life for Cora that she deserves. So that is why I feel so passionately about it. And for anyone watching this, I wonder if you've made the choice yet now as well. Do you want to choose ignorance and greed, or do you want to choose a life? Clothes don't make people happy. People make each other happy in life, which we won't be able to enjoy much longer if we keep carrying on how we do. So please make a choice now. Go sustainable in your fashion choices. It's the biggest difference you can make.